So if you remember from the previous lesson, we have the CamWorks feature tree, and this stores all of our standard features. And then we have the operations tree, which covers all of the tooling and how the lead in, lead out, and feeds and speeds work. And then we have our last tab, which is the tools. And what this does is actually show a list of our tools in the technology database, as well as the ones being used that are in black, and the ones that we have that we are currently not using, which is in pink. Now, they may be there for a specific feature. It just may be a scenario where we don't have tool paths assigned to them yet. So we're going to start by going to the CW tab, and we're going to just sort of do a quick overview of what we had in the previous lesson, which is we have different setups that create our Z, and then we have the tool paths that go in accordance with that. So you can see we have a mill part set up here, then we have one up here that machines the back side of the part. We have one that machines each side of the cylindrical face. And then down here in the bottom we have some recycled bin information. What we're going to do is we're going to pop over to the operation tree. And this operation tree, we're just going to take a quick look at a couple different features that show up in this part. We're going to start with using the drill commands and how those work. So with the drill commands, you can see that we have center drills and we have drills. And there's a couple different options we'll go through later, but the first thing we'll take a look at is you notice that we have a number 8 center drill used 3 different times on this setup. Now, we do have the ability to combine those together, because right now the program would be written just as it shows in the tree. So we'd center drill, drill, center drill, drill, center drill, drill. Now, that's great if we're moving around all over the part, but a lot of us like to minimize the number of tool changes that we have. So we may want to center drill everything on those faces first and then come back and use the different drills. It's just a more efficient strategy that a lot of us like to use. You can do that in CamWorks really easily. What you do is you hold down the control key and you select the 3 center drills that we're going to currently use, and then with a simple right click of the mouse button you're going to have an option to combine operations. And if I click this, it'll bring up a list and it'll say, okay, these are the ones we're going to automatically use. You can pick default parameters from one or the other if you had different ones you're going to use. And then we'll hit OK. And you'll notice that now we have 1 center drill. But you'll notice that it put it down below the drills. Well, we don't really want that. We want the center drill to happen first. So the way that you accomplish that is you just click, hold down, and drag it to the top of your list. And now, if you look out on the screen with this highlighted, you'll see we have the center drill first, and it's going to go and center drill all of these features. So that's a pretty easy way to group like items together. I use that a lot if I'm roughing. If I use 1 diameter of roughing cutter, then what I'll do is I'll combine all of the roughing operations together. So I just go grab that 1 rougher and I go rough everything that I possibly can in the current setup that I'm using. Now, along with that, we're going to open up this center drill and we're going to take a look at the feeds and speeds and the depth and all the fun stuff that goes with defining a center drill. By default, the technology database has a set of these standards in there. We're just going to take a look at and see if it meets our manufacturing needs. Everybody has their own different unique machines and their different processes they use. And CamWorks does a really good job out of the box giving you a baseline for that. But we have the ability to adjust it and then teach CamWorks how we as a company machine our parts. And over time what you'll end up with is you'll end up with a set of standards that you don't have to touch or adjust again, which is really beneficial because it makes programming really quick.